Oh, 안녕하세요, 여러분. And 안녕하세요, sewa. Yes. What am I talking about? Well, that's hello everyone in Korean. And, well, hello, sewa. Also in Korean. Why am I talking in Korean? Well, you guys who have been following me for a while, you already know I'm learning some Korean. And that's why. You guys who don't know, you guys who are my Korean followers who actually know what I just said, wondering, well, who's this Sewa? Well, Sewa's a friend, very special friend to me, and I like to say hello to her in my videos now. Yes. Anyway, what am I here for? What are we doing? Well, as you can see right here, we're starting a new project today. We are starting the 1/48 scale Su-57 or Sukhoi 57 by Zvezda. This is Russia's answer to the F-22 Raptor. And from what I've seen online, its capabilities could actually surpass those of the Raptor. As much as I hate to admit it, because I really like the F-22, it's very possible that Russia's come up with something that could very easily compete and possibly defeat the Raptor. But the problem is they've only got a few of them, and the US has lots of Raptors. So there you go. There's some debate as to whether these things are actually in use yet. Russia says they've used them. Other countries say we've never seen them. So who knows? It's really up to debate, and with all the stuff that's going in with Russia, Ukraine right now, well, who really knows, right? It's all about how much you trust your governments and stuff like that. I just opened this paint for the very first time, and it looks like it's old and separated. And I just bought it. So we're going to put in 2 balls in there to try and get this thing shifted up. So as you can see here, I have some colors, and these are the colors we're going to be using to paint this guy. Okay, I'll get into it. I'm probably not going to be getting into any actual building of this thing on this video, but we're going to open the box, we're going to look at the parts, to have a look at the instructions, put little metal balls in the paint to help mix it up when we get there. So yeah, I'm not sure what I need the green for. I think the green is going to be for like the pilot's seat. Could be wrong. Just making sure which ones do I have done. Now this blue this is a medium blue, and I might not actually need this color for this build, but I did need to mix it with this one a little bit. So this one is not actually this color. I've painted it on there on the lid. Not that you can really tell. Maybe on this camera you can tell a little bit. It's a little bit different color. If the camera would focus, it focuses better there. There we go. Yeah. So let's have a look. Let's have a look inside the box. This is the instructions, obviously sitting on my desk. Here's our box. Nice decent sized box this guy has. We open it up now. I've already taken 2 of the main pieces out. This would be the fuselage. They have this molded in one big color. This is, if you've built an F-22 Raptor model, you'll notice it's very similar. A nice upper half and a lower half that's much more fragile because of big holes, gaping holes in it. Now I've already taken the liberty of shaving off the little nub marks from the little pieces that were attached to this that they put on to protect it in the packaging. So these 2 are ready to go together once we get some. Well, what do we do first? Well, usually when we're building an airplane, we got to build the cockpit first, right? That's usually par for the course. So there you go. That's going to be roughly about how big it's going to be. It's a big little boy. Big little boy, yes. Okay, put those aside. Let's see what else we got in here. We've got our decal sheets, all the little red things, and then we've got our little stars and all that stuff. Yeah, looks like a few little cockpit displays. There's not much. I've seen the cockpits like on DCM, Digital Combat, DCS, Digital Combat Simulator. Here's just our little how to put a model together. Who needs that? Okay, decals. Another sheet that comes in this is our painting patterns, if you should so choose to follow these. One of two, well, it's technically three. So they have these, like this one here. This is kind of the light blue, dark blue patterns, and they have on here. This one is the T50-9. See, that's another thing they call it. They call this plane the T50. I think for a certain production, I can't remember. I saw some video where they explained why they call it a T50 first, and then Sukhoi decided to name it the Sukhoi 57. So T50, Su-57, same thing. Anyway, so this is the -9, the number 9 in their experimental phases. Number 9, this one rolled out. It's kind of funny. It's the T50-9 is the 8th flight prototype of the Su-57, and it made its first flight in 2016. So this plane's been around for a little while already, and yet they don't have very many of them. So that tells you something, right? They're not trying to mass produce these, or maybe if they are, they just don't have the funding and the capabilities. Who knows? Anyway. So you can paint it to be like this, and you would use the decals that have 009 or 509 on there, and it would look like that. Well, we flip the page, and you deal with these two right here. Okay, this is a particular pattern that certain colors are different on this than on this, but they have similar upper and lower colors. This one is the 11, and then this one is what they call Future Russian Air Force Production Paint Scheme. So, in other words, they plan on doing this color as future colors. Okay? And that's what I'm going to be doing. Because, well, as far as they're concerned on these, this is from, let's see, number 11 rolled out in 2017. So 2017, that's already old and in the past. So here's the future. The future is now. Where's that from? The future is now. That's from a movie or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. Okay? So, we have 2 bags of parts here. This one's actually a Ziploc bag with our clear parts. Simply just the canopy, and looks like the HUD, and a couple of little clear things that I don't know what they are. Okay, a couple of little glass nozzles, probably for like the radar that's on that nose, just in front of the canopy. It's famous on the Russian planes. Is it famous? I don't know. It seems popular anyway. So I'll put these over here, and we'll deal with this big bag of parts. Okay, so I've never built a kit by Zvezda before, so this is all new to me. I don't know what their normal things are, or what the quality's like. How much cleanup will have to be done. We will soon see. Just a little preliminary look here at our missiles and engines, our nozzles have very nice crisp lines to them. I'll give them that. There's a little pilot that I'm not going to build, because I don't build men, I leave that up to the Lord. Anyway, so that's one. And then we have another one, looks like the exact same stuff. So obviously just lefts and right, although that means we have 4 nozzles, but we only have 2 engines. So I'll have a couple of spares. That's all right. That'll be for the next one. Okay, looks like we've got what I would guess to be a great big missile pod bay, or if you want to have open doors, I guess you've got these long strips. Some more missiles. I would assume these are like maybe interior landing bay pod walls, something like that. This is bent, and it's the only one that's bent. I'm not sure what's going on with that guy, how he wound up getting bent like that. I don't know if you can see that. This one here, it's totally just, it goes woo down. Yeah. Okay, next. Tail fins. Definitely tail fins and elevators. This looks like landing gear bay doors. This is, I have no idea. There's our instrument panel for the cockpit. It's basically just 2 tablets right beside each other. It's basically what they look like. These look, they're the forward, what do they call those things again? They're common on the Russian aircraft, on the front leading edge of the wings where it meets the fuselage. They, not cantilevers. I don't know, leave a comment down below. I can't remember what they're called. You know what I mean though. Landing gear. Yeah, okay. Next and final, definite intakes. There's our cockpit. Super detailed knot. Little cockpit and the pilot seat. This looks like a, maybe that's the missile pod door. I got a piece of plastic that is broken off of the sprue. It just looks like sprue piece, not actual part. This, I have no idea. Put it here for now, in case I do need it. Okay, and that's it. So it looks like this is going to go like right here, big honking piece, if I want to have the missile bays closed. And if I want them open, I guess I would use that other one. It's got much thinner. Or they're going to tell me to cut this, one or the other, I don't know. I haven't looked at it enough. They do have a nice little arrow scribed here on this side to tell you which is the front. So that's kind of cool. And they even do that with this panel here, which is going to go on the top. Be interesting to know if there's actually any detail that's going to be going in here, to see why are they making me put that panel there, and would I have an option to leave it open? And if there's an option to leave it open, what's the detail underneath? What is that? What's that all about? What is that part? Okay, so that's that. Now I will say something about this. This does kind of have a, it's not a smooth texture. It's it's a texture. I can't describe it any way else. It's just not smooth, and you can probably tell if I flip this over. You can see how shiny that is on the inside. This is smooth, but when I flip this over, all that shine is gone. This has got some kind of a texture to it that does not feel super smooth. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not, because this piece does not have that same texture. There, you can see some of the shine, right? It's not as shiny as, well, I guess it is as shiny as this, right? It's, the bottom is shiny. The bottom is smooth. But the top is not. And it's a little weird. And I don't know if that's done intentionally. We do have that panel that's supposed to go here. Let me feel that panel. And no, this panel is perfectly smooth. Perfectly smooth and flat, no texture at all. So I don't have an answer. Is this supposed to be textured? Because I don't know. And then you can see where this little peg is, right here in front of my finger. Let me change the camera. This peg right there. Okay, let me move more to the center. If I get that in the light properly, you'll be able to see how it's shiny right there. See? Suddenly it's a little shiny spot. And that's weird because it's smooth. It's super smooth. This is weird. I don't know if they meant to do this or if I should get some 1500 grit and sand that down or not. I'm not sure. If any of you guys have built this thing, let me know in the comments down below. Is it supposed to have a texture on the top? Or are they supposed to be smooth and they've just something messed up in their mold process? I don't know of another company that makes this particular plane. But yeah. Anyway, that's that. So let's take a look at instructions. Now I did go through the instructions. These guys are nice enough to have a color chart right here, and they tell me the Russian colors and they tell me the Tamiya colors. So that's cool. So I could go straight to the store with my list of Tamiya colors I needed, and I just bought them. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you very much. So what I do, as I always do in my kits, I go through the instructions and I look for where they call out all these colors, because they call them just by numbers, number 20, number 18, number 32, number 48, that kind of thing. So I take my pen and I go through, this is red, this is black, this is light gray, or in this case XF80, which is royal light gray in the Tamiya acrylics. 20 is black, and I go through the whole book. Now, as usual, like I said earlier, we start with the cockpit. Next step is to put the cockpit into the top of the fuselage. Then we're going to start building a missile, or the missile bay doors. We have our options. We can either close them up right here, or we can actually assemble our missile bay and have the doors open. Put that pod in there like that. We have our intakes that we assemble and put those in. So the intakes actually include the landing gear bay pod as well, or landing gear bay, I guess. All is one. And we've got the surrounds for our lower intake. Then we do our engines. Moving down, we put our two fuselage halves together, we assemble our fins, tail fins, and the elevators. Going back to the cockpit, we put our HUD in, put the canopy on. Then we've got these things which they don't name them. Why don't they name them? Tell me what they're called. The name is right on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember now. And then the back part of the canopy, choose whether you want it open or closed. Then we start working on the landing gear. And then all of our missile bay doors. More missiles. Where they go in the wings. Oh, looks like we got to drill holes in the wings. Did they tell me to do that before we assemble it? Ah, yes they do. We've got options on which holes to drill and where to drill them. Are they pre-drilled? Is a good question. Ah, yes. We've got a whole bunch of slightly pre-drilled holes, guide holes, depending on where your missiles are going to go. So that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, we could assemble our missiles, put them on, and then a plethora of decals. Oh, we got our little ladder we can assemble too, and excuse me. That's funny. So they show me here. You can see it. I'll turn it so you can kind of see it yourself here. You can put it on a stand. They have a stand, but they don't have it in the actual kit. They don't have the kit in the stand, and they tell you right here. The support is not included into the model complete set. Wow, their English ain't the best here. The support is not included into the model complete set. Can be got in addition. Catalog number 7235. So there you go. If you plan on putting this on a stand, having it in flight, landing gears up, all that stuff, you do have that option. So that tells me that since they're giving that option, that tells me that the landing gear bay doors will actually fit closed. We'll see. We'll see. Even Tamiya, when they decide they're going to offer you the option of having landing gear bay doors open or closed, they'll include 2 sets in the kit, right? They do that. So we'll see. We shall see. Okay, so going back to the beginning, I have a feeling the first thing I'm going to need to do is paint. Although I can assemble the seat. I'll assemble the cockpit. Our cockpit here, I was right, our little bucket. We don't need fuselage right now. Our bucket is right here. What's nice about this kit, I don't have, you know, 12 different runners or sprues or trees, whatever you like to call them. I know Gundam guys, they like to call them runners. I tend to call them sprues. I call it trees. I use both interchangeably. So when they're calling for like E33, there's only a few here, and I don't even know where they're calling it E or A or B or C. Maybe on this little spot here. They call that 2020. Huh. This is a fairly new kit. 2020. This kit's only 2 years old. That's pretty cool. I'm usually putting together stuff from the 90s or older. So I see an E here, so I'm guessing this is E. Yes. So I'm just going to mark this. I don't have to. I only got 4 sprues, but it's nice to be able to know just at a glance. This is E, and I'll do it on both sides. Right here. E. Like that. So let's look at these other ones. I mean, when they're calling for the tail fins, hey, it's pretty easy to see the tail fins. But it's these smaller things that you don't really know for sure. This is F. F. This is going to be G. G. Okay. G. Now this is, I do this kind of thing with all my kits, right? So this is one of the few times you guys actually get to see me right off the bat, right out of the gate, to see what I do to prepare my kits. This is C. And this one is also C. Where's A and where's B? There's no A, there's no B. Unless it's one of like the clear piece or something. We have 2 C's. They are duplicates. And where's D? I got no D. What am I gonna do without my D? That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Tell me this is my D. Ah, it's my D. My D, I have my D. My D is in my hand. Thank you. Okay. With that out of the way, let's see here. E, 33, 40, and 41. I'm going to change my glasses. We're going to build this seat. We built this seat. And 41. These 2 little guys right here. Okay, I need 33 and 4. Well, there's 4. This looks like his bottom seat cushion. And 33 is over here. I need 34 and 35. I did see one video where they were criticizing this plane for still having the joystick in between the pilot's legs, whereas, you know, more modern aircraft, or a lot more modern aircraft, have gone to the joystick over on the side. That kind of style. And the criticism is that, you know, they're still using, damn it, they're still using the old ways. Where'd you go? Now I gotta change my glasses back because these are my up close glasses. And it's dark down here. There. So I know, I can imagine there is an advantage to having the joystick over on the side instead of down in between your legs. Especially new planes being fly-by-wire, everything's all electronic. You don't have physical cables connected to the joystick anymore. All that blah blah blah. So it makes sense. Why still have it in between your legs when it's kind of cumbersome? It blocks view. It's easier to access buttons and switches, all that good stuff. So this seat, they're calling it, they want basically everything to be black, but I've seen enough pictures and stuff to know, like, the cushion for the head is kind of a greenish olive color. But we're going to assemble it first, give it a coat of black, and paint our cushions. All that good stuff, right? All that stuff we always have to do. Okay, let's put our pieces together. Now we have these two. We gotta get these done. Can't forget about these. Okay, let's get some glue. So these two guys, they go on the sides. There's two little notches there. And there is a left and a right. Just like that. Nothing too fancy. It's something I really do like about this glue, that you can set your part and now it's attached enough that it's not going to fall off, but it's not so fast acting that you can't move it just a little bit to get your part placed. Now I was wrong about this being the bottom cushion. This is actually the back cushion. This is one of those pieces where it's like, why are you making me install this? It's like the back bucket for the seat. Why do I have to install that? It's kind of redundant, isn't it? But whatever. Okay. And then we have our little, I don't know even what these are called or what they're for. And this is going to go down in there. Like this. And sit in there like that. just under the headrest. Actually, not sure what that is. Is it like air conditioning vents? Or something? I don't know. I don't think it's air conditioning. That's ridiculous. Two halves of our joystick need to be put together. Okay. There's that. Now we've got a couple of pieces here that need to be put together, but I don't see where they go. What am I doing these for? Because I don't see them in here. Like anywhere. Oh, they're going to go into the fuselage. On the top here, they're going to go in these holes. These two holes here. Again, why make me build that? So I need E5 to go to E10. Where are we here? Here's 10. There's 10. Now I need 5. 5. Ow. Before starting this kit, I did put a brand new blade in my X-Acto knife here, so it's cutting through like butter. Which also means it will cut me like butter. So I need to be careful. So this goes... Haha, not on the floor. Goes like this. Woohoo! Ah, like this. Wow, it's not exactly a precision fit, but this is how it goes. Just like that. Okay. And then we got to do the same with E6 and 9. 6 and 9. 69. So what I'm going to do is get this assembled, and then I'll get the bucket of the cockpit painted, and then that's where I'm going to leave it. And then you guys go, hey, why are you stopping so fast? You hardly done anything. Well, I've hardly done anything, but I need to paint. Okay, and that's going to require painting this whole thing. They want it painted the light gray, which to me it calls royal light gray. And yeah, I want to let the paint dry before I put the seat in or anything like that. So I've already looked at the color difference. I figured, okay, they want it light gray, and it's probably going to be similar color to the actual mold. And I looked at it, and no, this light gray is way lighter than the plastic mold. So let's take a look here. See, that's much lighter gray than the mold. Actually, the camera, you can see better on this camera the color difference than you can on this one. That's kind of funny. But you just have to trust me, it is a totally different color. Now, I could have just thrown this in my airbrush and painted it that way, but then I'd have to clean out my airbrush, and this will get everything done just the same, except with some brush strokes. But it's the cockpit, so it doesn't really matter. Plus there's going to be decals with the instrumentation on them. You're not really going to see it. I see some guys on YouTube, you know, they go crazy with the detail and the weathering in the bucket of the cockpit, only to have it completely hidden because they got the canopy closed. And it kind of defeats the whole purpose. All that time they spend detailing the bucket of the cockpit, only to have 90% of it not even visible. I personally feel that's a big waste and not worth my time. If you're never going to see it, then who cares? So there we go. Now I gotta let that dry. So I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to throw some black onto the seat. I got to paint that thing black. Leave these guys alone for a little bit while that glue really nice and sets well. But that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight, guys. I've got another project that I'm working on. Yeah, so we're going to call it there for tonight, guys. That's going to be it for now. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. You know, you guys who subscribe to me, thank you so much. It really means a lot. While you're watching my videos, if you like my videos, do me the biggest huge favor and hit that like button. That really helps out too. Like my videos. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Just smash. No, I'm kidding. Just hit the like button. And you can look in the description box down below there, right down there, and you can see some links I've put in there for my Instagram and my Twitter. Thanks, Jagger. And thanks, Radioactive. Yeah, so I'm going to put links down below there to my Instagram. I always post pictures of everything that I've built, basically, on my Instagram. And my Twitter, I just basically, whenever I upload, I put an announcement on Twitter of a new video, and that's about it. That's all I use Twitter. But anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for coming out. And thank you. Yes, so I'm gonna leave it there for now, and Yeah. We'll see you guys all in the next one.